ISUPK.
We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men, free fans and die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Never let their brothers die. We want no cowards in our camp, in our camp. Only men, free fans and die.
When you gonna get ready to get real with what this man have done to us, man? You can't see what happened to you in Detroit. You can't see you've been bombed in Detroit. You've been shot down in Detroit. You've been destroyed in this city. Your eyes ain't open enough to see that. When you walk out the street and see your brothers in the gutter, are you mad? Cap LeBron is mad, man. I ain't seen this nigga smile since the day I met him, man. He's angry all the goddamn time, and now I understand why. You want to hear somebody tell you a goddamn lie? Take your silly ass to church. But if you want to hear the straight up goddamn truth about what has happened to black people in the city of Detroit, will you stand here with me for a little while? Jesus was a black man like you and me. Jesus grew up in the ghettos of Nazareth, which was a ghetto just like Detroit. Jesus suffered with the poor in the hood just like you suffered, man. You need niggas like Captain LeBron. You need real niggas to come together in this city to bring brothers and sisters back together. Motown is famous to us. That music they made up there in Motown was the most amazing music in the world to us. And now where's the money from all them records? Where's the wealth? Where's the babies from all them great musicians? Where's their money at? Where's their real estate at? Where their businesses at? Where the children of the Temptations at? Can I see their mansions? Can I see their Cadillacs? Hell no, I can't see it in Detroit. You know why? Because it don't exist no goddamn more. Do you know why? Because when you join your business onto the white man steals every goddamn thing. You better find out about my boy right here, Captain LeBron, and you better join that black man.
Definition of a soldier. Hey man, Phineas,
what's happening, man?
Y'all know what time it is, man.
What's happening, man? Captain Capaz, what's
Spirit
happening,
of Phineas on this
Captain
motherfucker.
DeVar, what's happening, man?
Definition of a soldier, militant minded, violent, silent, sleeping giant. I am titan, soaring, flying.
Yeah, Israel. We back in the building. It's another Midwest Fire Weekend. ISUPK presents the third annual Midwest Barbecue, man. And guess what? It's all gonna be hosted by Big Priest, Captain Maucara.
Israel, all blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, ISUPK, keeping the movement going. We got a banging weekend coming. Fire weekend coming, July 25th to the 28th.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas.
To kick off that fire weekend, we got the official 12 Tribe breakdown lecture hosted, you understand, and ran by my man himself, Captain Katazai of New York, world famous, cross the line, everybody knows.
Let me tell you something. The only real Jews on the planet are the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians.
Here, shit. You ain't nowhere, man. Y'all know what time it is. 125th, 1 West, Harlem, since 1969.
Chicago's Fire Weekend, man. July 25th through 28th. They're gonna have a hell of a weekend. Jam-packed. Amazing events. First, you got Captain Katazai's lecture. You're gonna have camp. You got the barbecue, the Bantu Festival, Man, it's gonna be a hell of a time, man. The General's gonna be in town, Captain's gonna be in town, and it's in Chicago, man. Listen, come out, have a good time with us. We're gonna do it big, man. Shalom. It's gonna be camp. We're gonna have a fire camp. Manny, Jimmy, Yohana, all the Midwest heavy hitters.
On July the 25th, Captain Kachazai gonna be performing the 12 Tribes lecture on 938 East 79th Street. Then, camp is gonna be held at downtown Chicago on July the 26th on 108 North State Street. Then also, we got the Bantu Festival on July 27th, 1501 West Rudolph Street. Last but not least, we got the cookout on July the 28th. The Midwest Cookout, man. We're going to be at Rainbow Beach Park, 3111 East 77th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, man. What's happening, man? Y'all know what time it is, man. Captain Capaz,
Spirit of Phineas on this
motherfucker. What's happening, man?
Definition of a soldier. Fold 'em, fuck 'em, focus, choke 'em, smoke.
Come out July 25th through the 28th to the Midwest Fire Weekend, man. We're gonna have brotherhood, sisterhood, barbecue, everything you can think of. It's gonna be a family event.
Angel of war coming, the archangel, the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street niggas.
Swat 5,000. You already know what time it is. Fire Weekend, Chicago, July 25th through the 28th, man. Get down there. Manager and Honda gonna be in the building. We got the barbecue, Bantu Festival.
Chicago, Chi-Town gonna be there. New York gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? Indianapolis gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? All the Midwest gonna be in the building. Okay, we gonna take this joint up, man. Bantu Festival, we gonna mob in that joint. Alright? Most thank Christ, y'all. Shalom.
Gotta be here. If you ain't here, shit. You
Man, Chief Sock, Jenny, Angry Black Man, we here in New York right now. I want to tell y'all about the event we got coming up this summer. July 25th to the 29th, we're going to be in the city of Chicago for the Bantu Festival. Y'all know don't nobody represent like the Israelite School, the UPK.
The angel of war coming, the archangel, the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas and teach niggas.
Shalom, come to the Midwest Barbecue, July 25th to July 28th. Number 2 champions gonna be in the building. Understand what I'm letting you know. Bantu Festival, Fire Weekend is another one that's going down. The Warlords will be in the building. Shalom.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas and teach.
The white man ain't nothing but the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Guess what? We also got the grill coming live from Chicago by Commanding General Yohana on 938 East 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. For more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Again, for more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Don't miss out on it. ISUPK, no cowards, no excuses.
Shit is going down. All 12 tribes are to come together under command General Yohana. Pum Yashala! Pum Yashala! Pum Yashala! Pum Yashala! Pum Yashala! Pum Yashala!
Your power shalom.
ISUPK Chicago presents the 12 Tribes Lecture by Captain Kachazai from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. kicking off the Midwest Fire Weekend. For more information, contact 312-547-1991. Again, that's 312-547-1991. On July 25th, we're going to be on 938 East 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. Don't miss out on this great lecture, man. This is going to be fire.
Captain Kachazai, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana.
Why is having a lecture like this so important?
And one thing that we're missing out here is we're missing an identity, man. Every other race and nation of people knows who they are.
We're going to be bringing out all the archaeology as far as proving who these tribes are.
If you look at this book right here, this is everything leaving our temple when they ransacked us. Rome minted this coin called the Judea Capta, meaning Jerusalem captured.
So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you understand? And the adjoining name as to who we are today and the various tribes that we're from.
Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you were born a Jew. You were born an Israelite.
Our oppressors' culture, their religion, their God, was all forced upon us, and as a result, we lost the sense of who we are.
How did we get over here in America? Why were we in Africa? What were the Puerto Ricans and the Taino Indians and the Arawak Indians and the Incas and the Mayans? What were they doing over here?
This is a pushback and another step closer to us regaining our culture, getting back closer with the Most High, so that this way He can restore our nation and our people.
Why is it Latinos and blacks have not yet seen the similarities in their plights here in America?
We separate because we're in different religions. We separate because we identify differently. We separate because a brother wears a different goddamn color than you.
Black and Hispanics of Negro or Indian descent on their father's side, we are a conquered people.
We're on the bottom of every single social and economic system. We fill the prison systems. You understand that? We're number one in every single disease.
And upon being divided and conquered, they labeled us different races. They labeled us, you understand, under different categories. Black and Hispanics run together. We do recognize that we are the same people and have the same flavor. We got to get back to that and realize that we have a common enemy and a common identity. This is what gets someone off of drugs. This is what heals your soul and cleans you up. What made me join the ISUPK is I was searching for a very long time. I started with different, I guess, so-called religions or spiritual systems. And the reason as to why I'm here is because the truth is here.
Now, where should every Black, Hispanic, or Native American be on July 25th, 2019?
Man, every single Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian should be making a damn pilgrimage to the Midwest. You understand? With the heavy hitters, Captain Mawaquad, Captain Gabar, Officer Ra'im, you understand, Officer Lamakia Allah, all them heavy hitting brothers, Salakia, if I missed y'all, Captain Kapash, you know what I'm saying? All these different brothers out in the Midwest that's raising up Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We should all be at that lecture at the Chicago school, you understand? I'd like to thank Captain Mawaquad for extending an invitation for me to come out there and be able to break down this information for our people, because it's so imperative that we wake up now more than ever.
What it do, my eye? Got the city on lock. Better pennies gon' drop. When we pull up in the spot. I don't want it, girl, stop, yeah, nigga too righteous. If you get it with me, I bet your mama won't like this. Daddy try to fight us, cause a nigga too G. Left hook like Tyson, gotta know that I'm a beast.
Yeah, Israel. Don't miss out on it, man. We're gonna be down at the ISUPK's 3rd annual Midwest Barbecue in Chicago, Illinois, man, the Windy City. And guess what? We're gonna be located at Rainbow Beach Park. This is gonna be a fire weekend, man. 3111 East 77th Street, Chicago, Illinois. On July 28th, it's going down.
Okay, man. We ain't gotta edit this shit for goddamn nothing, man.
Right.
We the realest.
UPK under commanding General Yohana, man.
Right.
And we got a lecture.
Hey, that was just the far side of Missouri.
Yeah, I got a couple shooters you don't see now. Twitter figures on the internet, talk a lot of shit. Now you up in my face playing C now. Keep it real, I ain't fucking with your no names. Got Bloods and Crips with me both games. Couple niggas in the squad for the pro game. One West, keep it hotter than propane. I'm a cold motherfucker on the track, I be spitting real raw, uncut like cocaine. True enough, we got niggas out of every other set, but understand One West, we be no game. My niggas One West, my niggas One West. My niggas One West, my niggas One West. Put a slug in your chest. If a nigga try to catch, my niggas One West. My niggas One West. My niggas One West, my niggas One West. I ain't fucking with the Rex. My niggas One West.
Heard these niggas wanna stop us. Between the haters and the coppers, got us beefing like a whopper. Better bring in all the choppers. Yeah. And I ain't talking helicopters. Why these niggas acting childish? Why? And I ain't with the gameplay. Run up on you like the same day. Pump fake the Wayne way. Right hook, leave a motherfucker slack jaw, talking like Sling Blade. You know I'm still one West till they bury me. Black chick, long hair like she Cherokee. Keep chicks by the pair.
Yeah, Israel. Don't forget, man. ISUPK is holding its third annual Midwest Barbecue out on Rainbow Beach Park, 3111 East 77th Street, Chicago, Illinois. On July 28th, it's going down. All the Midwest heavy hitters gonna be in the building. Don't miss it.
My niggas want West, my niggas want West. I ain't fucking with the West. My niggas want West, my niggas want West.
The water, please. We ready to go, Kudash the bar? All right, Most High in Christ. We are the Israelite School of UPK under Commander General Yohana since 1969. That brother held this thing down, man, that we doing today, man, disseminating the gospel of Christ every goddamn where. We got up and coming events, man. The Fire Weekend, man. It's a Midwest event hosted by, everything is under Commander General Yohana, but this Midwest event here is going to be hosted by yours truly and Captain Mawaqad. You know what I'm saying? I served that brother religiously, man, a prisoner to that man right there. And we're going to make this Fire Weekend pop off, man, with much success. We're going to kick it off with a lecture from Captain Katazai, man. Ephraim's arrow himself, man, the Kemet killer, man. He's going to do a lecture that Thursday, which is the 25th. I believe it's from 7 to 9. That lecture starts off at the Chicago school, followed by a series of camps. I believe we're gonna have two camps in Chicago, one downtown and one on the south side of Chicago. There's gonna be so many brothers in that zone that we're gonna have to have at least 2 camps. If we don't, you know, somebody ain't speaking, and I'm sure everybody, you know, gonna want to speak. So we're gonna split it up into 2 different camps, and then we're going to kick the weekend off with the Bantu Festival, where we encourage everybody to attend. We're going to have a couple venue spots there where brothers are going to have an opportunity to sell their oils and other goods, you know what I'm saying, T-shirts. We're going to disseminate flyers to the public and push this truth. So support us at the Bantu Festival that Saturday, followed by on Sunday the actual cookout, I should say, at Rainbow Beach. I believe it starts at 11 o'clock. We're probably gonna end at 7. Gonna be DJ there, man. A lot of activities for the men and the sisters, as well as the children. A couple bounce houses for the kids. You know, other activities, spades, and you know, we're just gonna have a lot of fun, man, showing the world what black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians can do under the proper leadership together, man. And it's gonna go off without a hitch, as does all of our events. So we urge everybody out there in the public and everybody that support us, all our members, to attend this up and coming Fire Weekend in Chicago. And of course, last but not least, Commander General Yohana on Monday at the school. I believe it's going to be from 10 because we under different time zone. It's going to be at 10 o'clock, I believe, Central Standard Time. He's going to host the grill from Chicago, so that's going to be an excellent weekend for us to push this truth and properly do a function headed by Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people the correct way, as we always do in Israelite School at UPK. All right, with that said, we're going to get our class kicked off. There's a few topics out there I wanted to address. A few people called me throughout the week and asked if I would break down certain topics. Of course, sisters called me asking for breakdowns pertaining to household situations between man and wife, wife and children, just the Black household in general. I want to also touch down on some of what plagues us in the Black community, period. All right, and we got a lot of busybodies out there, a lot of people that meddle in the affairs of other people and do a lot of gossiping, and those things right there, man. The Lord said there's 7 things that He hates, man. One of them is a lying tongue, and one of them is an individual that would sow discourse among brethren. So we're going to touch down on those topics. But first, we're going to kick it off with any questions out there. You got something for me, Kudash the Bar? Let me see it. Go ahead. Okay, so say it one more time. Okay, so you want me to take them all the way to you? Okay, on sign of Christ. So we're going to start out with the questions. Anybody online, if you want to call in, the number is on the screen, 720-835-5555 with a PIN number associated with that number, 55345. So if you got a question and you want to be heard, you can call into the class right now. We'll hear your question and have a little bit of a dialogue. But first, any questions in the audience? Go ahead, brothers.
Khan, sir. I got a question on Galatians 4 and 4.
Okay.
So for say like a Christian that believes in the Immaculate Conception.
Okay.
They believe that Christ was born of an angel, things like this. I want to know what can I get if they pull this.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me what that says.
Khan. When the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth His Son, made of a woman, made under the law.
And what is the law? Made of a woman under the law. Read the next part.
Khan. To redeem them that were under the law.
Give me Matthew. Let's start off with 1 verse 1.
Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
Well, I would start right there. To prove that when the scripture is saying made of a woman, what happens when a man ejaculates into a woman? And that semen is accepted by that egg, or slocky, I shouldn't say accepted, that one of those individual sperm make it to the egg and implants itself. What takes place after that? If all the chromosomes mate, right? Provided that all the chromosomes mate, because we know when they don't, the end result is a miscarriage. But when all the chromosomes mate, right? Is it 16 and 16? I believe it's 16 on each side, 32, I believe. When they all gel together, what takes place in a healthy situation with a woman that has a fertilized egg in her womb? What happens, brother? Go ahead.
I may out of one, she's then pregnant.
She's pregnant. So what is pregnancy? It's the process of a woman doing what?
Giving birth.
Not giving birth. A pregnancy entails
what makes up the development of a baby.
Read it again.
Matthew 1:1.
Slocky, not that the precept that you brought out. So I'm assuming that you had a conversation with somebody and they brought this scripture out to kind of say that Christ was born without the aid of a man. All right. But what did I feel my woman's stomach expanding when she was pregnant with my child? No, I didn't. All I felt in that exchange was pleasure. You see what I'm saying? I didn't feel the baby growing nowhere. It's disgusting. I don't even want to complete that sentence. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing to do with it other than the pleasure I felt when we came together. Right? So I planted the seed, but what did she do? What did she do, brother? You just said it. What did she do? Yeah, but what is pregnancy? The process of what? Making a child. Read that precept that you brought up.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, God sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law.
Made of a woman, made under the law. So I asked the question, what does it mean to be made under the law? What's the law governing how a child is made? What has to happen? But that's too far over their head right there. You see that? Now you ask them a question, made under the law, what are we talking about? Go ahead. Please.
Do it has to do with being married? Like, you know, sex is marriage, so, made under the law, I was thinking like,
That's part of it. That is part of it, made under the law. Okay. When a man and woman come together, that is marriage. So when they came together, that constituted the marriage. As soon as he split the way, as soon as he split the way, that was marriage, right? But what else encompasses the law surrounding pregnancy? What has to happen? The brother is right in this question, but I don't know if he understands how right he is.
She gotta
make it plainer. The law states that what? In regards to pregnancy. Can I sit here and dream and think and lust for a woman and wet myself and she get pregnant? What do I have to do? Go ahead.
You have to go into that woman.
That's made under the law. You see what I'm saying? That's made under the law. The law says when the Most High gave the commandment to be fruitful and multiply, that was a commandment. That's a law. It's an order. Right? Made under the law. Go ahead.
So here's my question. So what if a Christian, like they pull this?
But we're gonna go deeper to clear that out. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that first part. But go ahead.
Sir. So what if a Christian, they pull this and they be like, see, I told you, Christ was made of a woman. Don't say nothing about no man. And
it does say something about a man. They just don't have the ear to hear.
Right.
When you read, I should say, made under the law, right? Made under the law is when a man enters a woman. Because you can't in your bed have a damn wet dream and your woman next to you get pregnant, right? That ain't how it happens. There's something else that got to take place, right? And the thing that has to see, the Lord the Lord's law is that you breathe in oxygen and you let out carbon monoxide. That's his law. He came up with that law, right? So likewise, in order for a pregnancy to take place, you have to enter into that woman and leave a part of yourself behind. And that part of yourself mixed with her, mixed with that unfertilized eggs, and the law takes place. The law of making a human being comes into fruition, comes into reality. That's a little deep for Christians right there. That's for y'all. So I'd like to go into the plain scriptures. You got something else?
Also,
you know, most of the time when Christians think they know something, they not going precept upon precept.
Correct.
So
Correct.
when they pull that one scripture out,
See,
they misinterpret it.
See, I told you, and they skip made under the law part, and they just want to hear what? Made of a woman. That's it, right? But we're going to show you through abundance of the precepts that it's impossible for a woman to get pregnant without sperm, without the aid of a man. You know, I know right now through the white man's witchcraft, he can make a baby outside the womb, right? He can do that, but he still needs what? Still needs sperm. He got to have that. He got to have that. He got to have the sperm. So he may be able to create the environment of a womb, right, in a test tube, and create a fertilized egg in a damn petri dish. He may be able to do that, but he still need those elements that come from man and woman in order to make that child. All right. You got. I can't hear you, Kodash Bar. You. Okay, Con. He rushing me to get past this topic. All right, so let's clear it up real quick. Give me Matthew 1:1, and then give me Matthew 22 and 41 and 42.
The book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
The son of David.
Hold on, what?
The son of David.
Hold on, man. I thought he said made of a woman.
The son of David.
No, man. The Bible say made of a woman.
The son of David.
But it also said made under the law. And the law said David had to contribute to that boy being born. You see that? Keep reading.
The son of Abraham.
Uh-huh.
Abraham begat Isaac.
You see that? The son of Abraham. So this book is saying, read it again from the top.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
So this is how Christ was produced in the earth. That's what this is saying right here. That's what the generation of Jesus Christ is. How he came about. Read.
The son of David.
The son of David. The son of David. And I'm going to just add this, which means Christ was who? Solomon. That's what that's saying right there. Christ was King Solomon. Keep reading.
The son of Abraham.
The son of who?
Abraham.
Which means he was also who? Isaac. You see that? Christ was also Adam. It's a different topic. We'll break that down later. But Christ was the son of a man. And the scripture said it behooved him to be made like his brethren. Think about how could you possibly aspire to be like Christ if he was born of an angel? If he was, somehow made without our temptations. I would have every excuse in the book right now. Man, Christ come from an angel. You know, Christ was made not to sin. What is the most famous thing you hear in all Christianity? You ain't perfect. You can't be perfect. But the scriptures say, be as perfect as the Most High is in heaven. Meaning it's possible. And Christ laid down the possibilities of man. That despite your temptations to get high, to bang hoes, you know what I'm saying, to be a killer and a drug dealer, you can overcome that. That's why it would behoove him to be made just like us, to wipe away what? All excuses. More than likely, the person that's telling you that Christ was this immaculate conception, they the most filthy, disgusting sinner on the face of the goddamn earth. That's right. Banging every goddamn thing, man. And sampling all types of dope. You know what I'm saying? And the most disgusting person in the earth. Because Christianity, in all forms, wipe away the concept of being like Christ. Because he didn't come from a man like me. That's the underlying effort in Christianity. To give you an excuse to be something immorally corrupt, spiritually corrupt, and something that acts as if in their day-to-day that they hate God. That's why this question always comes up. But the book, it clearly says Christ came from men. All right? Give me one more precept and then we're going to move on. Matthew 22 Give me 41 and 42. Mm-hmm. Chapters 40, verses 41 and 42.
We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, "What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?" They say unto him, "The son of David."
He's what?
The son of David.
Christ is the son of David, man. Period. Keep going.
Kanawakan. He saith unto them, "How then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord say unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand."
Read it again.
Kanawakan.
From the top.
When the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them.
Now the Pharisees, everybody know, the Pharisees were the people, were the Israelites that were trying to kill Christ. They wanted to catch Christ up in some treachery that violated the law that would require his blood so they could hang him on that damn cross. Because Christ was a revolutionary against the Roman Empire. Not in a physical revolution, but in a spiritual one. He was trying to remove the people's affinity for that empire, much like what we're trying to do today. We're trying to get our people to leave America alone, man. Leave the concept of this great melting pot, man, and the crap in the muck that it really is, man. Just let it go. That's what we're trying to do, all right? Much like Christ was doing in that day. So the power structure, the people that was, the Israelites that were gaining, where they had all the wealth, right? Where they had all of the fortune, where they were respected, came up against them because they didn't want to lose their state. Read it again. I am Kodash Bar. He's trying to urge me to move on. I am. Give me 1 second, brother.
Kanawakan. Saying, "What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he?"
Go ahead.
They say unto him, "The son of David."
The son of David. Christ is the son of David. Keep reading.
He saith unto them, "How then doeth David?"
His son Solomon. Go ahead.
He called his son Solomon Lord.
He called his son Solomon Lord. Why did he call Solomon Lord? Anybody know? Go ahead.
It was a spiritual thing.
Right.
And he understand, like, from a spiritual standpoint, that he wanted his son to be better and greater than him.
That's not quite it. Go ahead. Who is that? Not Desire? Go ahead. It was a spiritual thing. Go ahead.
Basically, once I guess Salak, if he died, his son will be his Lord. His son will come back and be under him, so that will be his Lord.
I just gave. Say that again. You almost there. Go ahead.
Come on, concert. Basically, once of course he give birth to his son, he dies. His son, he know that he's gonna come back under his son.
He's gonna come back through
his son lineage. And
you got it reversed. We just said Solomon was who? We just told you Solomon was who? We just read it in the other precept.
Christ's lineage.
In Christ's lineage, it says what? We just read it in Matthew 1:1.
He's the son of David.
Christ is the son of David, right? Go ahead.
Come on, concert.
The son of David. Read the next part in 1:1. The son of David, the son of who?
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
If Christ is the son of David, if Jesus Christ is the son of David, and David called Christ Adawan before he died, what is David saying about Solomon? Go ahead.
That he's Christ.
That's right. That He recognized that Solomon is Jesus the Christ. And Christ is what?
Christ is Solomon.
Okay, but all right, that's true. But in the beginning, what? Read my mind. Finish my thoughts. In the beginning, the Word was with God. Right? And who is the Word of God? Who is the Word of God?
The Word of God is Christ.
That's right. So if David is calling Solomon, somebody's on the phone? Or just tell them to hold their peace for 1 second. Let me finish this. So if David is saying to Solomon, Adawan, and he acknowledging that it's a couple metaphors in here, and I'm not entirely sure when David said that he understood that Solomon was Christ. I'm not going that far, right? But it's spiritual. You see what I'm saying? Because he knows that he's going to come back through who?
Going to come back through Solomon.
His son, which is to your point, but also to the point of the class, right? To the breakdown. Christ was there in the beginning. And Adam is the father of us all. So Adam would be the father of David, right? And if Christ was Solomon, that means Solomon is the father of us all, and David is acknowledging that he is Lord, that he is his Lord, meaning that he came from him. All right, so I would just, that's a little deep for your average Christian, but I would just go through the breakdown with him, because in the breakdown, it tells you about why it was necessary for Christ to be made just like us. Christ being made like us takes away the excuses. And Christians don't want the excuses to be taken away. All right, so I want to get off this topic. You understand Kudash the Bar? I mean, Slaki, Zarak? You good on that? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I heard General Muhammad break that down one time, and he said like it was in a spiritual way. Like how we say, like how the white man, how you say that when you put us in slavery, like in today's time, we didn't actually physically go into slavery, but we understand that we were in slavery.
Because what? We are the same people that were in slavery, getting our necks stretched and getting our backs beat and picking cotton in the field. We're them same people born again, man, in the rejuvenation. Those same people had those same people that had those same people. That's in the Bible right there. All right. So we got a caller. Go ahead. We answer this question real quick. Go ahead, caller.
Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
I can't hear him, Kudash, but I'd like to hear that.
Salaki out of one, Cuba Tabata Mosque, out of Arizona camp under the Lord Apayat.
Most High in Christ, priest. What's your question, Hebrew? How can I help you?
Salaki out of one, if a man have no son during his lifetime, how will his spirit return to earth? Will he not have? Will his bloodline be wiped off, and will his spirit not return, or what? How does that work?
Let me you know, that's a heavy question right there. I'd like for that brother that don't have a son to keep trying. Like there's some brothers out there that don't try to have a son because of the woman that they're with. The woman might be barren, that he married, or she reached that age where she can't have any children, and because of we got so much Christianity in our minds and so much American in our minds that brother would, even though he could have children till he 90, till he died, that brother would say because of his wife that he won't take another and have children. All right, so it's many scenarios that stop brothers from having children. That's one. But it's one chapter that I'm gonna point out to you. Give me find the scripture where the Lord told the son of Judah to go into his brother's wife so he can bring up a seed in his brother's name. Give me that scripture real quick. I believe it's in Give me Genesis 38 and start at verse 6. Genesis 38, verse 6. So the brother's question is, if a man does not have a child, right, and he died, does that automatically wipe his spirit off the earth? Right? That's his question. Am I right, caller? Can you hear me? Is he still there online? Did you mute that?
Con out of one con.
Okay, so can you hear me, officer? Well, trooper, it's lucky.
Con out of one con.
Your question is, if a brother dies before he has a male child, does that wipe his spirit out the earth? Am I correct?
Con out of one con.
Okay, give me Genesis 38 and start at like verse 6.
Khan Wakan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 38, verse 6. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And the Lord slew him.
So the Lord killed this brother right here before he had any children. You follow me, trooper? The Lord took this brother off the face of the earth because he was wicked as hell. All right? Keep reading.
And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife.
Read it again.
Go in unto thy brother's wife.
Read it again.
Go in unto thy brother's wife.
So the other brother was given an instruction to go in unto his departed brother's wife. Keep reading.
And marry her.
Go ahead. Which proves what? Sex is what? Two things we proven right here.
Out of one.
Sex is what?
Marriage out of one.
Sex is marriage. It's saying it right here. This proves that sex is marriage to all you Christians out there. Read it again.
Khan Wakan. And Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her.
And do what?
And marry her.
Meaning you got to bang that in order for it to be a marriage. I don't care how many papers you sign. You got to put rod to that thing in order for it to be a consummate marriage, man. Recognized by God. That's what you got to do. If you don't do that, there is not I don't give a you can sign papers from here to Timbuktu. Unless you put that thing in her, it ain't a marriage. Sex is marriage. I'm tired of saying it, goddammit. The Bible says it so many goddamn times. Sex is marriage. Period.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And raise up seed to thy brother.
And raise up seed to who?
To thy brother.
Hold on. Are you telling me that the instructions is for one brother to go into his recently departed brother's wife and marry her so that a seed can be raised with his deceased brother's name?
To thy brother.
Slide, go ahead, one more time.
To thy brother.
Raise up seed to thy brother. So, to answer your question, if a brother died, this is your opportunities right here. Right? If a brother died without having a child, if he don't have any brothers, he might be asked out. Right? If you don't have any brothers, man, and you're married to a woman that tell you can't have another man, Slocky, that you can't have another wife, if you're married to a woman that tell you cannot have another wife, and you go for that shit, and you don't have any sons, you might be rendered not back in the earth. I ain't saying that's what it is.
Not a one con.
I gotta talk to the general about that, but it seems that's what it's saying, that you need a brother to go into a woman to bring up seed in your name. If that doesn't happen, I don't know any other way it could happen. Unless it's just the will of the Most High that you come back. All right, go ahead. Okay. That answer your question pretty good, priest?
Con out of one con.
Right. You satisfied with it, or you got something else behind it?
If I may, Lord,
go ahead.
I understand. I understand that a brother must have a brother that his name might live on. And Salakia, say again, other one?
No, go ahead. Just start over.
Okay.
From your what you were
saying. I understand that a brother must have a brother that can put this rod down on the sister if he departs without having a male child. That being the case, if by chance this brother is not his brother within the same household family, such as by the flesh, my actual brother, and it is just another Israelite brother, for example, my Lord Afayah, will the spirit still return to earth, Lord?
That's what I was going to add right there. I don't believe the scripture is talking about necessarily it has to be through a blood brother. But this particular scripture is talking about a blood brother. See that? This particular scripture is talking about a blood brother. Is it possible for one of us, because we are all related, to rejuvenate that spirit? I would say it is possible. I would have to get clarification before I write that in stone from a man above me, but I believe it is possible for us to rejuvenate that spirit back. Because we are one family.
I'm not a one con. The water out of one.
Good work. What's the next question? Want me to jump to class topic, but we got so many other questions out there. You gonna hold me to that? Okay, it's 42 minutes in. Let's tackle one more question out there. Somebody else had a question, didn't they? What's the question? Can you hit me up again tomorrow?
Just like last week, me and Quadash was talking, and he couldn't really give me the answer or whatnot, and he said I should ask you.
Okay.
Now, I seen you since then, but it slipped my mind to ask you. But when I was a Christian before I came into the truth, it was something was told to me that we was promised a certain amount of years on earth. I know back then people lived to be 1,000 years old or whatever or whatnot. And it was cut short because, you know, the world was growing. So everybody couldn't live to be 1,000. You know what I mean? So the question was, I was told that people, like we was promised like at least 70 years and maybe 72 or 73.
I think it's in the scripture where he restricted us to X amount of years. I think it's 120. Mashai, am I correct? 120 years, I believe, is what. Can you find that precept for me quickly? So yeah, he did like Abraham 900 years plus.
Okay.
Something like that. You know? But there was a time that the Most High said he would restrict the lifespan of man. That is in the Bible.
Okay. And so like when you die before you reach that certain amount of years, is that like because you know you're not following the laws at the Lord or
Right. All that pork, like that pork and that shrimp and them crabs, man. Smoking all that crack, shooting all that heroin. You know what I'm saying? All of those things weigh on the body. You know, you're destroying the body when you do that. You're destroying the temple of God. And just because as soon as you smoke the blunt, you don't die, don't mean that it has not cut your lifespan short. You know what I mean? So if every time you hit the blunt, you lose X amount of hours, you know what I mean, or X amount of days, and you've been smoking blunts for 10 years, that adds up pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Most High did restrict the time span of a human, but also we also, bring that time, about much faster. Based on our actions and what we do to the body. Go ahead.
Just to piggyback off that, like those men and women that were living those amounts of years, sir, pretty sure that they had pretty good fruit to eat. You know what I mean? Pretty good vegetables to eat. Their vegetables was growing like crazy. Their fruits was getting mad big. Like everything was pretty, excellent in those regards. Compared to have you try to live those amounts of times in America.
saying? You could eat an apple or a pear. You go run around the block. Go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? You could foundate yourself in the Bible, in the word of the Most High, so you might live. All right? Any other questions out there? Any questions from the sister? All right, if not, no questions, sir? All right. One of the major topics that I wanted to bring out today, man, and I got a call about the inability of certain people just to mind their own goddamn business, right? And like, if it's a matter concerning me that you think you know about that you didn't get it from me, it's not true. If it's something concerning myself or concerning any brother that you didn't witness, that you learned from somebody else, man, more than likely what you learned is a goddamn lie. All right, let me give you some precepts first on the what a lot of times holds us up from progressing. You got something? All right, give me Matthew chapter 15 and verse 8. Give me that first. Matthew 15 and 8. Somebody else give me James 5 and 12. Matthew 15 and 8, then James 5 and 12.
We in the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips.
Read it again.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
So if your mind is in the right place, man, right? If your mind, if what you're focused on is the truth, if your mind was in the right place, you would have no room for a false tongue. You wouldn't have any room for a BS doctrine, right? You wouldn't have room to speak words about a brother or a sister that's not true, that you don't know to be true. And even if you did know them to be true, you would have enough wisdom because you've attached yourself with the truth, not to even speak on another man's affairs. All right. Now jump down to go to James 5 and 12 and give me Matthew 5 and 33 right after
that. James chapter 5 verse 12. But above all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by earth, neither by any other oath, but let ye be ye, or yea be yea.
Let your yea be yea and your nay be nay.
Read
it again, Slocky.
But above all things, my brethren,
go ahead.
Swear not, neither by heaven, neither by the earth, neither by any other oath, but let yea be yea and your nay be nay.
Meaning, man, push the truth, man. You know, speak about what the truth is, man. That's the point of part of the point of this scripture right here, man. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Don't be in between. You know what I'm saying? Jump down, Slocky. Go to 1 Corinthians 14 and 2.
First Corinthians 14 verse 2. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For no man understandeth him. Howbeit in spirit he speaketh mysteries. But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men of edification and exhortation and comfort.
So this scripture is really talking about like
You know what they do in the Christian church with all that vain babbling? You know, like in their mind, they're saying, oh, my Lord, I love your law, I love your gospel. That's what they believe they're saying in their mind, right? But it's not really what they're saying. What they're doing is pushing witchcraft. Read it again from the top, Salaki.
You said, what does that start at chapter 1? Salaki. For he that's Corinthians chapter 1, verse 2.
That's 1 Corinthians 14 and 2, right?
Salaki. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For no man understandeth him. Howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries.
Now go to 1 Peter 4 and 15.
We're in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as busybody.
Or as what?
Or as a busybody.
Or as a what?
Busybody.
Go ahead.
In other men's matters.
Now, who know what a busybody is? Raise your hand if you know what a busybody is. Go ahead, brother. Tell me what a busybody is.
A busybody is somebody who's always in somebody else's business.
Meaning what? Break it down a little bit further.
I heard my man said the other day, Blase split about Davey. And then, 2 hours later, he talking about, oh yeah, my man's around the corner said so-and-so about such and such. You know what I'm saying? He just spreading everybody's business around, basically don't have no real true information about nothing. He going by he say, she say, really, basically, no facts.
And if you did, listen, like say for instance, hypothetically, I'm gonna use myself, so won't nobody think the scenario is true. Say hypothetically, I'm in public having a argument with my red, right? And y'all men around me all the time, and one of y'all get abreast of this argument, and by the morning, people on the West Coast know about it. Because what did you do that night? You got on the phone and described that altercation I had with my red, right? When things like that happen, man, you know what you want to do as a brother to another brother? You want to forget about it. You want to get out the scenario. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be the individual that's all in another man's affairs. If anything, you want to aid the brother by giving him sound counsel about how better to handle that situation. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's necessary, to check her ass in public. Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary that you argue with her, period. Right? But it's also necessary for brothers, man, that ain't got nothing to do with that scenario, and sisters as well, to just keep your goddamn mouth shut about other people's affairs. Read it again from the top. Because in vain, man, you worship the Most High, but the Most High right here is telling you not to be a goddamn busybody. But that's what you're doing all damn day long on Facebook, right? And then calling them women, and you don't realize those women that you get with, man, that you think you're friends with, the only reason you're friends with her, or think you're friends with her, is because y'all suffer from the same ailments. And y'all keep each other from the truth. Right. That y'all got the same goddamn demon, that's why you love each other so much. And here, listen, man, I love all the brothers, man, that's up under me and above me, man. I take counsel from the top, and instructions from the top, and check-ins from the top, and I give them out as well. And guess what it is at the end of the day? All love. That doesn't exist anywhere else in the earth, period. Including in what you call your so-called sisterhoods, your camaraderie amongst, your loyalty amongst sisters that will prevent you from helping a sister as opposed to aiding her in her goddamn demon. Think about that, how many sisters gossip, I should say, amongst each other, man. How many sisters love each other because they hate the same thing in the truth? Multiple wives, for instance.
How many sisters get together because they hate multiple wives and they believe they friends after that? Y'all just stumble over the same goddamn thing, man. Satan got both of y'all asses, or all of y'all asses, wrapped up around his finger. And he prevents you from progressing in the truth. You could be feeding the homeless, man. You could be making garments, making soap and dish liquid and soap powder.
Mm-hmm.
You could be homeschooling. You could be a goddamn doctor or lawyer, but you're stuck talking to some other evil monster every day about nothing. Because y'all share the same goddamn demon, man. And you're busy bodies all the goddamn time in another man's affairs. Mostly what occurs on Facebook. You're sitting up screenshotting pictures from one rib to show them to the one that you think you're friends with. Really, you're trying to hurt that sister. You're trying to destroy her. You're not her friend, man. Showing her the things that hurt her, that'll make her angry and disrupt her household. You're just another busybody. You're just another stupid in the head wrap. They don't understand, man. You just share her demon. Read it again.
Gun with gun. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 15. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters.
Now give me Proverbs 26 and verse 22. You had something you want to add real quick with Dr. Bar? Go ahead.
I don't want to that's heavy what he said. Let none of you suffer as a murderer. Like what they don't know is if you sitting up gossiping and then the gossip got another root cause behind it is hatred or jealousy. And if you hate a person that's in the truth or outside the truth, it don't matter if they are Israelite, you a damn murderer to that person. Because you would murder them if you're going to talk about something. I mean, that's real heavy.
I think I get your point. What you're saying is this right here. Like, you understand where this sister's or this brother's weakness is. And you constantly pushing that in his face or her face. What happens when she leaves the truth? What she become, Kodash Bar? A dead body.
Right.
You know, effectively murdered by your constant putting in her face the things that trouble her. And not offering her any real counsel. All you want to do is hurt her. You murdered that sister, man. You didn't give her time to develop before you pushed all that bull crap in her face every day. Because she loved that man, and she believed that because he's with another woman, he has another wife, that some part of him is not going to be available for her. She don't realize the nigga have always had more than one woman, and you just didn't know about it. You see? Give me you got that precept for me? Read it.
You said in Proverbs 26 and 22?
Come on, give me that.
We're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 22. The words of a talebearer. A talebearer. Salakia.
No sweat.
Are as wounds.
Are as what?
Are as wounds.
Read it again.
The words of a talebearer.
Read it again. Of a what?
Of a talebearer.
Are you putting a B in there or am I tripping?
I'm putting a B in there.
Go ahead.
The table bearer.
Are you putting a B in there or is it a B in there?
Talebearer.
Right.
It's like,
brother. No sweat, bro. God. No, you seeing that B. But go ahead.
The words of a talebearer.
What's a talebearer, Zara? Think about the word. What does a tail?
Storyteller.
Bearer. What does it mean to bear a tail? That's right. That's exactly right. Read it again.
The words of a talebearer are as wounds.
Are as what?
Wounds.
Man, listen to that, man. You sitting up talking about another man's affairs and you ain't even got it right. You know what you're doing to that man? You stabbing him, man. You gutting your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's two sides to a story. That's why we have counsel. But you've heard something from one party, and all of a sudden you disseminating all that information you heard from one party throughout the whole nation. You know what you've effectively done to that brother or that sister? Go ahead, Natazaya. We just said it, Kudash Tabar. We just said it, didn't we? Did we just say it, Kudash Tabar, in the other precept? Go ahead, Natazaya.
Come, so you're basically killing them.
That's right. You kill him. You murdering that brother or that sister, man. Pretty soon, guess what? Because you've told so many goddamn lies on this person, and every time they go somewhere, every time they show their face, you know what your intent was to do? To make them feel some type of way, to be embarrassed, to always second guess. Who heard that lie that he or she created about me? Read it again.
Khan. Book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 22. The words of a talebearer are as wounds.
And what if the wound is untreated, what happens, man? Go ahead.
It gets infected.
And then what happens?
And then it gets...
It can progress into death. Left untreated, left without the proper counsel. And you sitting up spreading these lies, this rumor, this one-sided perspective against a person. What could eventually happen if that person does not have the right counsel? Go ahead.
You can leave.
Death.
Death.
That's the only other recourse, is death. Well, I tried here. Wasn't well received, so now I got an excuse to go back out in the world and screw them hoes or be a whore. So you watch your mouth, man. Men and women, watch your goddamn mouth about another brother or sister. I want to say especially women, but you niggas out there too, man. Watch your goddamn mouth. Don't speak on another goddamn brother unless you know that thing to be true. And even if you know it to be true, shut your goddamn mouth about another brother or sister. At least you leave wounds in that brother or that sister, man. That can ultimately lead to their death. In the words of the men above me, shut the fuck up. Period.
ASAP.
All right, we got somebody else online. All right, the same person. You got another question? All right, give me Proverbs 20 and verse 19.
We're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 19. He that goeth about as a talebearer.
As a what?
As a talebearer revealeth secrets.
Go ahead.
Therefore, meddle not with him.
Do what?
Meddle not.
Now you know this person to be a goddamn talebearer. Somebody that got some juicy gossip about another person. The Bible instructs you to do what?
Meddle not.
Don't deal with him, man.
Yep.
Keep going.
With him that flattereth his lips.
You see that? Man, don't have nothing to do with somebody that would bring you a tale about another brother or sister. Period. This loyalty shit y'all got out there going on, man, well, it ain't nothing but another goddamn gossip group about the affairs of the higher ranking men in the Israelite school of UPK. This damn gossip group y'all got out there, man, it need to die. You need to hear these scriptures where it says, meddle not with them. Read it again, slide.
He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets.
Go ahead.
Therefore, meddle not with him.
Meddle not with them, man. Because the things that this person is pushing, more than likely are things that you should know about. in the Bible it's telling you, man, don't entertain them. Don't interact with them in that regard. Once you do, you become just as guilty. Not 90% of the meddling that goes on, it's all due to a sister upset about what her husband's choice is in life, and she becomes that person that's angry, and she want to bring about a certain amount of dysfunction in every household that mimics her dysfunction. So be aware about these women that you entertain, that you call friends, that you accept counsel from. Go ahead, Production Bar. Matthew 5 and 22. Go ahead.
We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar.
What did you want him to read? Matthew 5 and what?
Just 22, where it say, whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause. Like, people that's angry with their brother without a cause, they go and gossip. They, like, if you angry at your brother, you haven't went to him. And if you're angry at him without a cause, you got something off in your head, and then you would go out and talk to somebody else about it. And create all type of mischief and backstabbing and
think about as it relates to this scripture right here. Think about like I have to relate it to my experience in the world more so than what I've experienced here in the truth. But think about a brother that hate on another brother for no reason.
Right.
The nigga think when we was in the world, you think he's something. You got them 26s. I don't know. I don't even know how to frame it. But a lot of times, brothers get upset with other brothers because of what he has, or moreover, because what they don't have. You know what I mean? Which means it's without cause. You know what I'm saying? You could possibly go up to that brother and figure out how he achieved those things, and then achieve it for yourself. As opposed to just sitting back bitter because he got something. It's just a scenario. But because he look a certain way, because her hair longer, because she got a bigger whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So without a cause is if I have not done anything that offends you and you upset with me, without a cause, you become endangered of the council. Because what's going to happen? I'm like, this brother, every time I come into his presence, it's always some form of disrespect. And then eventually I'm going to call him on that disrespect, and he's going to be even more so disrespectful. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take your ass to council, man. We're going to find out that you have some type of you covet something that I have. You know what I mean? You upset about a particular position that I hold. You know what I'm saying? You're mad because I got this beautiful ass beard or whatever the hell it is that ails you about me. We're going to find it out, and then we're going to find out that you're a sap, a lame, that you have no place amongst real men. That's right. You're going to be in danger of the council, and I promise you, if that is found out to be the case, you're going to feel low as a goddamn snake, man. Go ahead, Production Bar.
And that's what that's a prime example. That was perfect, because in the world, somebody will say, you know what, man, I just don't like that brother. And really, it is based on what they don't have, like you said. Some brothers could hate on a brother that's like your size because they have intimidated by masculinity that they don't have.
I ain't want to bring that up. You know, niggas so big and gripped up. It's sloppy up there for that. You know what I mean? But Con, to your point, you got like small man complexes, and you got, believe it or not, some big niggas don't want to be big niggas. Some of them wish they had. Look at y'all niggas with these small tapered waists. I got all this extra meat around my gut. Some big niggas don't want to be big niggas. So they and then you hating on the big nigga when he don't even really want to be a big nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. It's sick what we go through. You know what I'm saying? You hating on that brother when, man, I'm just like this, man. I can't help the way I am. And what we really need to focus on is brotherhood, man. We got it here in the Israelite School of UPK, man. And we urge other brothers out there that's listening, man, to man, listen, get with what we doing, man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Because we cut through the muck and get right to the details of what keep brothers and sisters from becoming a unit in this country, which was orchestrated from the foundation of this country, is to keep blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians hating each other, even in our own households, man, in our own blood families, man. Think about all the hate that exists every time y'all got together for those disgusting ass holidays. You know, somebody uncle took one of the kids in the back room and did something strange to him or her. At these family functions, it's always full of abominations, man, and hatred and things against God. And here we clean it all up, man, and we become perfect together. Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
So I had something to piggyback off of what you was just talking about. Like, you ever had a brother that hate on you for what another woman said about you that that ain't even true, and he hating on you?
So you asking me a personal question right now that I do not want to answer. Absolutely, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I was a younger man. Oh my God. You know. But the problem is, even in that brother's hatred towards me, I wasn't armed with the tools to be a brother to him despite his hate. Now, a brother hate me, guess what I am? I'm a brother to him still. Because I recognize the reason why he hate me or hate on me is because it's something that's vain, that means nothing, man. Like I'm 6'3". A nigga look like he benching everything in the gym or whatever his hatred is. You know what I'm saying? But really, man, I really want to be a 200-pound skinny cat. You know what I'm saying? That could 360 dunk. You know, but I'm 300 pounds. And the brother hate me because of the extra 100 pounds I don't even want. You see, that's just a scenario, which is stupid. It's so simple and goddamn dumb. The discrepancies that stand between brothers really loving each other. It's so stupid. Likewise, the same thing between sisters, man. It's the same scenario. And what we don't realize is that the issue really is the white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. Because he created these conditions. All right, I'm going to move on to the next topic. If no one else had anything on this topic. Anything else on this topic? Now, Desire, you had something? You got another topic? Go ahead.
Sir. Trump tweets racist attack at progressive Democrat congresswoman.
Okay, Con, that's an excellent one right there. Do we got any video footage on the subject that you can share with the class? You sure? Because there was a lot of videos that came out this last week. If you don't got it, no sweat. If you can just give me the dialogue. Okay, no sweat. That'll work. And give me those precepts, man. Give me the blind leaders precepts. Give me that in is it Judith I'm looking for? Or Lamentations. Give me that in Lamentations I'm looking for. And also give me find where the congressman said a simulation
Real quick, Mashad, if you could over there. You got that? Okay. That video, a congressman said what was the greatest attributes of America.
President Donald Trump used racist language on Sunday to attack progressive Democrat Congresswoman.
Read it again.
Come with concert. President Donald Trump used racist language on Sunday to attack progressive Democratic Congresswoman.
Now, what we got to do is not just the Congresswoman. It's several Congresswomen. All right? And these women, if they were in the school, they would do a lot to help black people. But they believe that the way to fix the system is by joining it and changing it from within. That's where like four sisters that are newly elected congresswomen. And they on Capitol Hill, man, bucking the status quo. Because they believe that they, based on getting elected, can change the system from within. But now they're realizing that it's impossible to change the United States of American system with joining it. They're going to chew you up and spit you out and don't give you an opportunity to be relevant, period, on that floor. All right? Give me that in what is it, Lamentations I'm looking for? What you got? What scripture you got that I'm looking that I had you go hold? That's the one I want right there. Give me that.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17.
Hold it for a minute. Give me a little bit more on that article.
Come with concert. Falsely implying they weren't natural born American citizens.
Now the reason why Trump just tweeted this, I believe it was yesterday, is because the three of them sisters, one of them an African. But the African believed that she's fighting for black people. She believed that black people are all the same, right? Well, she's given the impression that she believed black people are all the same. And we all just Africans, right? So these four newly elected congresswomen went on Capitol Hill and bucked the established quo. What you got, Dr. Bar? Kind, set that up right there. We're gonna read that next. We're gonna play that next. These four congresswomen believe that they can then get in there on Capitol Hill and change the status quo from inside the organization, right? Not understanding that even the Black Caucus is going to fight against them coming in there trying to disturb what has been the norm. Even though everything that these four congresswomen are saying, right, about immigration, about the struggles of black people, about reparations, about not having a voice in the areas that matter to us, even though that's what they're pushing, you got the Black Caucus that's been there for a millennium, been there forever, going up against them in the name of what's been established way before them, keeping the can kicking down the road. So I'm going to bring out these scriptures to prove that how you change a system is not by joining it. Black people believe that the answer was in voting, right? In marching, and getting the kids sprayed down with water hoses against the racist police force. Dogs sicked on them. We believed in the dream of Martin Luther King Jr., man. That all we got to do is accept our ass getting kicked to show them how human we were. You see that? Accept the ass whooping, and the white man eventually going to say, "Oh, they human. Let's not kill and murder and rob and rape them no more." That's what our people brought into, fed into. But the Bible talks a different game altogether, man. Did you have something, sister? You need something? You okay? All right. Read that scripture you got for me. Please.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Now somebody break that down for me. Read it. As for us, right? He's singling out us as individuals. You will let your hand down, please. He's singling us out as a people. As for us, our eyes have what?
Yet failed.
Have what?
Yet failed.
What does that mean?
It has not given up. It has not
Think about that.
let us down.
Read it in literal terms. Like think about.
As for black people, our eyes has yet not let us down. As for us black people,
That's correct. Go ahead.
our eyes has not let us down.
Keep reading.
For our what I'm trying to see what can I say for vain help.
Vain means empty. That wasn't really substantial. It didn't have any power to do anything. It's empty. So read it again.
As for us black people, our eyes has not failed.
Have what?
Has not yet failed.
Hold on. Read it literal then. Read it again literal.
As for black people, our eyes has not let us down.
No. I want you
you saying literally read the chapter? Okay, I'm sorry.
Then I want you to break it down the way you want to again.
Salakia.
Just read it again.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. Our eyes has yet failed.
Is that a has?
As.
Spell it.
A-S.
Okay, read it again.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Transition to.
And our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. As for black people, our eyes has not failed for our empty help.
Has not failed or has failed?
Has failed. Salakia.
So as for us, our eyes, like what does it mean to have falling eyes? Think about a person that's looking right here, and then all of a sudden you see me do like this.
Right.
Do it indicate I'm pleased with a thing or displeased?
Displeased.
So as for us, our eyes as yet. Does it say has or
as? A-S.
All right.
Salakia.
As for us, our eyes as yet.
Yep.
As up until now have failed. As
come.
for us, our eyes ineffectively have failed. Meaning we have looked for a people and thought that something was going to transpire, and it never transpired. So now we're sorrowful. We regret joining these bastards. We regret following Martin Luther King Jr.
Muslim majority.
We regret believing in the American doctrine of this prosperity for everybody. When we still on the goddamn bottom after getting our backs beat and picking goddamn cotton. We look at everybody else prospering, but black people still in the goddamn ghetto, man. Our babies still dying every goddamn day. We still in the concentration camps, aka the prison system. Right? The brothers and sisters coming from Guatemala and coming from Mexico and coming from South America trying to enter a place that inherently belong to Mexican people, Native Indian people, that belong to their own people. Right. Can't get over here in this country, man. Our babies dying in prisons right now on the borders. As for us, man, our eyes have failed, man. You see what I'm saying? We sorrowful for joining this goddamn system. As for us, man, we crying, man, on the inside, man, and depressed. You can look at us, man, and see we so goddamn depressed in this place. As for us, our eyes as yet fail. Read.
For our vain help.
For what?
Our vain help.
For our empty help. For these empty ass promises, man. That all we got to do is endure, and the white man eventually going to say, well, okay, they all accept it. When he's saying build a goddamn wall right now. He said 3 strikes, your ass is out, man. I don't care if your 3rd strike is still in toothpaste out of CVS. You going to prison for 30, 40 goddamn years. For the rest of your life. Man, our eyes have failed, man, because this bastard, man, has not lived up to what Martin Luther King Jr. told us will come about if only we would let him kick our ass a little while. Keep reading.
And all watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So which leads me to the point, right? It's three sisters, man, that were newly elected on Capitol Hill. And these sisters believe if they get up there on Capitol Hill, all they got to do is point out the pertinent issues that we face in the ghetto, and they would bring about a certain amount of change for us. But what this article right here is proving is that even the black people that was there on Capitol Hill before them are rejecting everything that they want to push. You know why? Because those leaders that was there before them, guess what they know? If they go on to get along, their pockets gonna keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter. So you got black caucus members coming up with these newly elected sisters, right? Coming up against them for, guess what? Wanting the conditions on the border to improve as it relates to immigrant children, man, seeking asylum here in America, right? And these newly elected congresswomen are pointing out the same shit that we've been pointing out, man, since 1969, that our leaders are blind leaders, man. That they are leaders that lead us to the goddamn slaughterhouse. That we cannot put any faith in those people that sit on Capitol Hill. But their mistake was joining Congress as opposed to joining the Israelite School of UPK. All right, we got somebody online? Go ahead, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? You can unmute it. What's your name? Where you calling from? 585 313-585. What's your name? Where you calling from? Look like that's in Detroit, huh?
Y'all faking y'all some bitches. All y'all going to hell.
What'd he say? Cut him up.
Hey man, watch your mouth, brother.
Hold on, no, let him speak.
Which one is it?
Just calm down. It's okay. Hold on. Hey.
Because I'm really with my nephew up there. So we all been riding past that.
Okay, hold on. I can't hear you. I want to hear you. Cut him up so I can hear him.
Don't worry about it. You gonna see me.
Hold on. I want to hear what you're saying. He adjusted the mic so I can hear you. Go ahead. What you say now? What you say, caller? Oh yeah. What was he saying though?
He said something about us going to hell.
Oh.
Everybody in here bitches, bro, and said some shit about going to hell. That's why I said what I said. I can hear him. I can hear speak.
Yeah, but what you got to do is you got to discipline yourself. Now it's easy for us to kill niggas. Like it's brothers in here, man. I can counsel them on killing. It's brothers that you talk to every day that's killers. And what we know how to do is kill. You ain't ever got to worry about us, man. There's niggas with guns everywhere, all day long. Don't ever worry about that from us. But you know what's hard to do? I'm gonna tell you what's hard to do. Love that brother. That's what's difficult. And you just proved it. You heard him say some fuck shit, didn't you? And you want to chop that nigga head off for fucking with us, don't you? I don't want to come. Get that brother a hand. But guess what, man? Guess what Christ commanded us to do, man? To love. That's a principle that he gave us, man, that's up there with loving the Lord, believe it or not. He called us, he 1,000,000 miles away, man. Some little cat getting high some goddamn word. And he don't realize that we love him, man. That's the reason why I'm taking my time out. It's hot in here. I could be in air conditioned, wrapped up under some bosom. That's where I could be right now. Getting fed and loved on. You know what I mean? That's where I could be right now. But I'm in here sweating and hot to deliver him a message. And I ain't getting paid for it, brother. You might think I'm getting paid. I'm paying for this shit. I'm paying for this to go on, man, for you to hear this message. That's how you got to love him with more than I will beat the fuck out you. You got to love him with more than that. You're not even a trooper yet. So the brother's response to you was correct, but you shouldn't even speak. All right, if you want to speak in, you got to raise your hand. Certainly don't address anybody online. All right? You ever shoot your thumb? Me? Okay, most high in Christ. So I hope the brother would call back and we can dialogue about what he say. We going to hell? Did he say we going to hell?
Y'all some bitches. Y'all going to hell.
So you should know to laugh at that, because the niggas in here is no bitches, man. Ain't no cowards in the UPK. We'll twist your ass up for sure, but what we want to do is love you. You know what I'm saying? That's chief among our orders from Christ, is to love your brother. Like he called us a bitch. Guess what? We call a white man the devil and disgusting, and he stinks, and he's the most disgusting bastard ever to walk the face of the earth. He just called us a bitch. That was it. We call names all the time, although our names are justified. He don't know none of us to be no bitches. So you should laugh at that. What he called back? Okay, so I hope you've been listening. Hold on for a minute. Let us adjust the audio so I can hear you. Can you improve on the audio? I need to hear him in order to address what he's saying. But you're not, I can't hear you right now, brother. Let us get the audio correct so we can have a dialogue, right? 1 second, brother. What you said, my bro? Say it again. He hung up again? Nah, he get the faggot of the year award for that. So the nigga just a faggot. He want to say his piece and hang up. Now you call him a faggot. He's somewhere blowing a rod at some white boy somewhere, more than likely. You see that? He's a homosexual that love white men. That's his problem. All right? We were on the. Say again. Okay, Con, read some more of that article for us. Hey, listen, man, if you loving white boys, man, if you're making love to white boys, don't call this class right here. We hear the faggot in you, man. Right. Yeah, I'm right. You show the attributes of a homosexual, want to call in all loud and emotional, then hang up. All right? Give me some more of that article, please.
Con, sir. Trump did not name who he was attacking in Sunday's tirade.
So again, these sisters, man, thought it was best to join the system from within to change it. But what they just found out is that even members of their own caucus, right, from the same ethnicity as they come from, meaning Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, right, those individuals that have been in there within the established quo, right, those individuals have started to reject them as well and sided with the power structure. You see? So give me some more on that right there.
Con, sir.
What's going on right here, Production Bar on the screen? Why is it? Okay. Give me some more on that article.
Con, sir. But earlier this week, he referred New York Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Now this is sister. This is a Hispanic sister that just got newly elected to the Congress, and what she's been doing is fighting the building of the wall. She's been fighting the treatment of immigrants on the border, and then she's been an activist for the issues that plague Black America within the United States of America, right? And everything that the sister is doing is within the spirit of the Most High, but not according to knowledge, because she joined the system as opposed to coming here with us and fighting it. You see what I'm saying? You can never change the system from within. What's going to happen is it's going to fold up on you and drown you out, right? Give me the other articles of what the feud between Nancy Pelosi, right? The Democratic Speaker of the House. Give me the feud between her and these newly elected Congresswomen. And I'm going to prove to you that when they joined this system, that they had 300 other individuals that have been firmly established in it that would fight any push against the established quo to change it for the betterment of Black people. That's what they're finding out right now. So find me that article. We're going to read a little bit about that, and then we'll move on. You got the article about the assimilation? Kudash Tabar? need that one. Just put in there, Congressman speaks about a simulation. I need something real quick, y'all.
The overhyped feud between Nancy Pelosi and AOC.
Okay, but it should be some against what they call just put in there Nancy Pelosi versus a newly elected representatives. Because what they did right here to give a little bit of a backdrop on what the feud is about. These women joined Congress with the intent to change it to have a more of a positive impact on the black community, Hispanic and Native Indian community. They believe that by joining Congress, that they will be able to get into the system, right? Shed light on the things that keep us down. And by doing that, that Congress would say, oh, well, okay, let's vote on changing that. Not realizing that the same people that she rely on to change it are the ones that created it. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party, man, they represent the same entity, man. They represent the same monster that would keep black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people down. So when you join that system and you come up against that system and say, well, we got to change in order for black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people to prosper, when this kingdom knows that black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people got to be on the bottom for it to maintain its hierarchy, when you come up against that system, man, it's going to chew you up and spit you out. And I want to shed light on what the Bible says as it relates to trying to join the system and change it from within. It's impossible. They would have done a better service to black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people by bringing all of that education and all of that influence and all of that Twitter following to the Israelite School of UPK. They'd have been more effective in doing that and denouncing its holidays, right, and its traditions, and its Thanksgiving, and its 4th of July. These sisters would have been more effective joining the Israelite School of UPK than they have been being elected into Congress. Man. You got that article?
Con, sir.
Hold on, you had something first, Kudash Bar? Okay, give me that article real quick. He's saying we got 10 minutes. We might go into extra innings.
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has accused House Speaker Nancy Pelosi of singling out newly elected women of color in the Democratic Party. Ocasio-Cortez commented, is the latest shot fired in a war of words between Pelosi and a group of more left-leaning members of the white, left-leaning members of the House.
I need you to make this clear. Read it again and come across clear. Understand what you're reading. Go ahead, priest.
Ocasio-Cortez comment is the latest.
They know her by AOC because her name is kind of difficult to pronounce. She is the congresswoman that everybody refers to as AOC. They don't like pronouncing her name. Go ahead.
Comment is the latest shot fired in a war of words between Pelosi and a group of more left-leaning members.
Left what?
Left-leaning.
Left-leaning. What does it mean to lean left? Anybody know? Who don't know what it means to lean left? Raise your hand, please. Okay, like you got the middle, right? You got the right, and you got the left. The right represents the Republican Party. The left represents the Democratic Party. In the middle is somebody that straddles the fence on different issues on both sides. So the left-leaning liberals that's newly elected to Congress are fighting for what? Go ahead, Zaraq. Read my mind. Read my mind. Fighting for who? Read my mind. I need specifics. Go ahead, young man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's correct. So more left-leaning liberals, right? To be liberal means to what? I got 100,000 right here, man. Everybody walk up to me. It's 10 people in the room. They say they need 8,000 apiece. What I do? I'm so liberal, I give it all to them, and I'm left with about 14,000 myself. So liberal, a person that's liberal with their money, they're gonna be more apt to give it away. For in this case, for the betterment of the whole of people within the caucus that they represent. All right. So these four women just was newly elected, man, and hit Capitol Hill and told Nancy Pelosi, niggas got to stop getting shot in the hood. You got to open up these goddamn borders and let these Hispanic people in. You see, you got to end the discrepancy in housing and in education and in jobs. You got to stop this attack on the black family. That's what these sisters have said on Capitol Hill. How many members in the House of Representatives? How many members? You should know that. How many people in the Senate and in the House of Representatives? I want you to give me the exact number. Don't guess. Don't raise your hand and guess, man. Give it to me from either what you know or what you just looked up. How many representatives in that caucus, in that party? How many people that represents the party of Nancy Pelosi? Real quick, y'all. How many members in the House of Representatives, Kudash Tabar? 540 members in the House of Representatives. And how many sisters is that that's on Capitol Hill right now saying change the condition of black people? How many? Three. It's three of these sisters coming up against the established code, which is 540 members. And they think that their voice is going to make a difference on Capitol Hill. Read it again in Lamentations, man. Who got that in Lamentations? Read it for me, please.
When the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us,
as for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people like AOC, looking for the established quo, looking for the system to change for the betterment of black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. She's going to soon realize, based on this attack by every single congressman, congresswoman, and that party she represents, that she's not going to be successful. They beating her ass down right now. Donald Trump's tweet yesterday proves it. As for us, go ahead.
our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
And I guarantee you she went home crying from the beatdown that she received, not only from members in her own party, but what Donald Trump just recently said about her. Take your ass back to, where she from, Puerto Rico. Take your ass back to Puerto Rico and fix the horrific conditions in Puerto Rico. Then come back and tell us how you did it. That's what Donald Trump just told her yesterday. Take your ass back home and fix the horrific conditions in your own neighborhood before you come trying to tell us how to fix our perfect system. Nancy Pelosi said the same goddamn thing. She just didn't use the same language. Keep reading.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So what is her overreach? What is her goal? AOC and the members that follow her. Her goal is to change the condition of black people, Hispanics, and Native Indian people. And she's trying to do it from a system that is already fixed and rigged against any possibility to do anything for you niggas. Period. Go ahead, Kudash Bar.
She really want to live the American dream.
Which is?
That's why she going through the American system to feel good about black people. But if she wanted to really change black people, she'd be in a separative state and getting in ISUPK.
The only reason I disagree with you is because it's other members that's black that have said she's stupid as hell for coming up against Nancy Pelosi. That to call Nancy Pelosi a racist to use the race card on Nancy Pelosi was ridiculous. You telling me Nancy Pelosi don't represent her own people? Do you believe that Nancy Pelosi, an old, elderly, 70-something-year-old white woman, don't represent white values? You're an idiot if that's what you believe. So when she come up against Nancy Pelosi, genuinely, because she got big bang. AOC being an elected congresswoman, she got money. I mean, money compared to what she got bread. And listen, to buck the established quo means what? You're not going to get any additional funding to be reelected. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get. They got X amount of dollars that they give to these representatives to improve certain aspects of their neighborhoods. She's not going to get any of that money. All right, you got something? She's not going to receive any of that money. So I would say that as it relates to her, she really believed, and the other 3 members or 2 members that represent her same standings, they really believe that by bucking the system, they're going to be able to change it to better Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. All right. Give me the rest of that. Give me the rest of that article, please.
Come, sir. When these comments first started, I kind of thought that she was keeping the progressive flank at more of an arm's distance in order to protect more moderate members, which I understood. AOC told the Washington Post about Pelosi, but the persistent singling out it got to a point where it was just outright disrespectful. The explicit singling out of newly elected women of color. At Pelosi's weekly press conference on Thursday, the House Speaker said she wasn't interested in talking about the feud. I said what is going to say, and I said what I'm going to say in the caucus. That's where this is appropriate, Pelosi said, adding, I am not going to be discussing it any further. Pelosi and the squad, which in addition to AOC also include Minnesota Rep. Ilhan Omar, Michigan Rep. Rashida Tlaib, Massachusetts Rep. Anna Presley have clashed on variety of issues, including how to handle funding for the humanitarian crisis at the border.
So the beef started off with Nancy Pelosi, who was the Speaker of the House, meaning the individual that is in charge of leading the narrative for that particular caucus. All right, for all of those representatives, she is the one that they put up there, the statesman, the standard bearer, right, for the caucus as it relates to liberals in that party. Right. Her agenda was not so much to focus on the humanitarians, but the overall issues on the border, including security, including the detainees of individuals trying to seek asylum over here in America. So Nancy Pelosi led a bill that effectively funded ICE raids that happening today. ICE is the individuals that have been charged with rounding up all the so-called illegal immigrants. So this bill that Nancy Pelosi championed, that she pushed through the House of Representatives, funds the individuals that are right now, as we speak, seeking out anybody that so-called are in this country without the proper status. All right. AOC being a Hispanic woman, and of course she identified with the plight of Hispanic and Black people. She believed that she can get on Capitol Hill and change the mindset of all of those 540 people to champion more progress for us as people sitting here in the ghetto. That's why I bring up that scripture one more time in Lamentations from the top. 4 and verse 20, I believe. It's like 17.
Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
For what?
Our vain help.
For what?
Vain help.
She believed that she can get on there and convince Nancy Pelosi to help Black people. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. Meaning, we look into these people, man, and this power to help niggas in the hood. Hispanics trying to get over here to this country, man, seeking a better life, man, so they can feed their kids because they love their kids, right? She's looking for that system to change for niggas, man, and spics and savages. Not knowing these the same people that put niggas, spics, and savages in slavery. How the hell are you gonna change that? Because Nancy Pelosi know what? The minute you change the condition of Black people, my daughter becomes a slave. She know that. So hell no, we ain't about to bring all these spics over here to this country. And yeah, niggas gonna keep getting shot. And savages gonna stay on the goddamn reservation. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. These motherfuckers on Capitol Hill can't help niggas in the hood, man. Period. We sorrowful because we put all of these goddamn years in equity into this party, this Democratic Party, this democratic process. And guess what? We know better off today than we were 60 years ago, man. No better off, man. AOC gonna realize it, and the other two members, literally, that she got following her. If you read the rest of this beef, if you read the rest of this beef between AOC and her own party, because she want to help Black people, it's going to disgust me. Right? Because you got niggas in there coming up against that system. Like I said, the sister would have been better off coming to Commander General Yohana and asking him, what should she do? We would be more prosperous if that sister had done that. As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. Keep reading.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not help us, to not save us.
We've done what?
We have watched for a nation that could not save us.
We've looked to these people. Watch me. We've looked to these people to eventually see us as human. I'm just like you. I got children just like you. You know, I bleed red just like you. We've watched for these people to one day realize that, man, and say, let's stop killing these niggas in the street. Let's institute policies, man, that help them as opposed to keep them in that condition. Everybody knows that the policies in place of the United States of America are not policies that would benefit Black people. Not in housing. Owning a house, niggas don't even realize this. Owning a house, right? Owning a house is the quintessential element to being wealthy in America. Just owning property, man. Owning your own home, man. Having something that you can hand down to your child that they can use to further their education or fund a business, man. Those are the elements, man, that's quintessential to what they call American prosperity. But guess what white people made sure of? That niggas don't own nothing, man. But you're going to rent for the rest of your goddamn life. That's part of what they're coming up against on Capitol Hill. It's simple home ownership, man. Those things come together, man, you'll see Black people condition change, man, shit, overnight, basically. As for us, our eyes have yet failed in our watching for a nation that could not save us. Man. How do we become a people that's saved? What should we do first? Who want to answer that? What's the first thing we should do? What should AOC be doing right now? If she really want to save black people, what should she do?
Colonel Khan, so she must first have to drop out of those politics and drop out of the American tradition on trying to solve black problems.
And do what?
And then come into the ISUPK
That's
under
the only
Commander
way.
General.
The only way that black people will be saved is through what?
It's dropping American philosophy and coming into the ISUPK under Commander General.
Only thing else I was looking for is drop the notion of that vain hope. The notion that white people gonna somehow realize that they need to do something in order to help black people. That shit ain't gonna never happen. You see how they came up against reparations? Mitch McConnell, he recently said, shit, my ancestors owned slaves, but guess what else? Barack Obama's ancestors owned slaves as well. He said that. You can look it up. Mitch McConnell, who was the minority leader of the House, right? Meaning the Republicans don't have more members as the Democrats, so he's the minority leader. And what he said was, my people own slaves. You damn right. But shit, Barack Obama's people did too. That's a direct quote. And did Barack Obama's family own slaves? What side of his family? That was my question when I heard that. What side of his family owned the slaves? What side? It's mama's side. Yeah, but you saying Africans didn't own slaves? Now I'm gonna tell you, it was black slave owners, man. And you know what they want to tell you? That them black slave owners was niggas like me and you. It was Africans, man. They said, okay, we're gonna gather these motherfuckers up. We want to come over there and work them too. I'm telling you, man, you gotta focus. You gotta focus in. You gotta focus on the knowledge. Give me some more on that. Mitch McConnell admitted that his family owned slaves. It's so good to rock with that. Africans owned slaves. Like you read them articles, well, shit, around this time, black people had slaves, but my people didn't even have slaves. There's articles out there right now. For white people, because they see your dark skin. But you look at the long ass head of his daughter. Her head's so goddamn long, you can tell she ain't no goddamn nigga. Her head about 18 damn inches long. That oldest baby he got. You know that ain't no sister. That goddamn head so narrow and long, she looks like a buck-eyed Ethiopian. you know that ain't no sister. You know that ain't no sister. Seriously. And he ain't no goddamn nigga in the hood like you and I. That's why none of his policies did anything for black people. Period. All right, any other questions before we end the class, Dr. Park? Did we get all topics? I know there's one sister did ask a question, and she should have. Any questions online? It was a question that I had got about. I kind of want to touch down on, but I also want to make it kind of a normal segment in our breakdowns weekly. I'm gonna announce right now that our class time is probably going to change. We're gonna go from Sunday to another date. So look for this class to change in the near future. But I do want to kind of touch down on the sister's question. Let me find it real quick. All right, I'm gonna let everybody in on this question. All right, the sister. What are some important topics a woman should bring up during courtship? That's a good one, huh? She says, what? And then another sister, what are some important topics that a woman should bring up during courtship? some of the important topics? I mean, I'm not a woman. It's hard to understand what's relevant. Well, I guess it's not. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. What are some of the important topics of women? Now, one thing women should be aware of during courtship is, and I want to say this to make it seem as if brothers is just some slick ass bastards, which half of you Negroes are. You know what I'm saying? But what a sister should look for is a representative in a man. You know what I'm saying? Whether he being real. I think you should definitely look for real, but not misinterpret his romanticism and his delight in hearing from you as a lie. Because brothers be excited about a new prospect. It's she in the truth, she a new sister, and she interested in me. So if she's interested in me, what am I going to be showing her? Being a man that's excited about her. I'm gonna be showing her, just have a spirit to discern what's real and what's temporarily real. That's what I should say. That's what I want to say. Understand the difference between longevity or love. This is what I want to say. Learn the difference between real love and being in love. When you first meet the sister, man, you're going to be in love with her. And that lasts about 2 minutes for most of y'all. It lasts about 2 goddamn minutes. About 2 minutes, and you roll up off of her and you realize something. Whatever it is that you realize when you roll off of her ass and she roll off of you. She want to cuddle with you, you can't wait to get the fuck on. Understand it's a difference between the way men think and the way women think. And men generally, before they get that box, conform to things that's more pleasing to that woman. And it's temporal. It's very temporal. What you really want to gauge when you're courting a man is whether or not you can deal with his ass forever. Can I deal with this Negro forever? Because when you let him get that box, it's forever. So during the courtship phase, take advantage of it fully, sisters. And come to the understanding, can I deal with him? Look at how he deal with other people. Look at that. Look, not what somebody told you, but how you actually see him dealing with other people. Not something you heard from somebody that heard, that somebody that told them, saw him dealing with another person. Or from what you actually see. Because most women got this notion of a man going to be in love with them. That I'm going to be that same romantic. Where I'm bringing you flowers and I'm speaking soft words to you, and I'm excusing some of your behavior, because ultimately what I want to do is fulfill my desire for you. So just be aware. Have an argument or two before you give him that box. You know what I mean? Hear how he called you a bitch or a stupid motherfucker in an argument. You know what I'm saying? Hear that first. It's my advice. A couple arguments, if you can deal with the makeup, and the makeup is good, I would say it's okay, because you're going to argue with him, you're going to disagree with him. He's going to tell you to shut the fuck up. And that, you know, despite your effort to convince him of something that, whatever, he's still gonna do what the fuck he wanna do, because you don't control that man. Sister, you don't control the man. You might control his anatomy in certain instances. But in terms of being able to control him, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be successful with that in a man of the Lord. You know, you're not going to run the household. The head of every woman is the man. You know, like, if what's a hot topic right now? Like if a woman want to do a certain thing, she should always, you know, like even in court, you should want his approval first. You should test him on what he approve of and what he disapprove of. I might say, I personally might say, shit, I like watching my woman with a thigh-high skirt on. Personally, I don't consider that, you know, wrong. I don't care who else see it. I want to see her walk with the thigh-high skirt on. Oh my God, she looks so good in that joker right there. I want to see it. But another man might say, no, that damn skirt got to come at least to the knees. The limit is the knees with that skirt. And a sister, if a man say, don't put on the goddamn skirt that come above that knees, the sister got to know that the head of the woman is the man. And if he tell you that and you disagree with him, that's a sin on your part. A sister want to know whether or not her man is somebody that's going to come home and say, baby, how much of the check do you want? Versus a man that's going to come home with a pocket full of money and say, bitch, give me every goddamn thing you got. Some men do that. Some men need women that earn money. Some men get off on women that earn money. Other men can't stand a bitch that don't earn no money. Period. So in terms of how do you discern whether or not you should marry that man, it's by the courtship process. Baby, shit, my check was $1,000 this week. Let's go to Kalahari. You might be, what? You're talking about Kalahari. That's a stack. God damn it. You ain't got no bills? What's on the floor right now? Nothing. Shit, hold on. Run that bread. We're going to put that right here. Now, you need to know the type of man that you're with in regards to finance. Some men don't want you all lovey-dovey in public, you know, for whatever his reason is. Some men can't deal with you brushing up on him like that, or else his anatomy is exposed to everybody. You can't come on up to the brother and caress him in such a way without him just being so goddamn excited in public that everybody knows he got the biggest bone in the goddamn world. Some brothers like that. So you might take his lack of affection in public as him not wanting to be with you, but really he don't want to embarrass himself amongst his brothers. So just bring him a drink, rub his head, and let him do his thing in public. You just got to, the courtship process is to get to know the man. What makes him tick and what pisses him off. And the arguments you can win with him versus the ones you would never, ever win with this brother. And then you got to discern whether or not he's somebody you could be with forever, yay or nay, right? You got something to go down to the bar? Go ahead, boy.
Kind out of one kind. What you said was heavy because that's exactly what a lot of women need to hear. What you said was they need to get to know the man. Like most women, they grow up because their mamas is evil as hell. They kick the father out of the house. So that leaves the daughter not having a father. and not having a man to have a relationship with. So what happens is they ask questions like this: how do you even go about a courtship? You go about a courtship by getting to know that man, which you have never done before in your life because you ain't had a father to get to know. So you want to get to know that man, get to know what's going to make him mad, get to know what's going to make him happy, get to know, have him get to know you, what's going to make you mad and what's going to make you happy. And what the white man has did, because it's always the white man's fault, he done separated the black man and the black woman away from each other to where they can't even have a socialization with each other, a social speaking to even get to know each other. And that's why the black man and the black woman is alienated from each other. When you're supposed to take your time to get to know each other. Anybody that does that, you're going to have a better relationship with even your damn enemy. If you get to know your enemy, you know, look, I don't want to fight this nigga today. If you in the world, you like, all right, I know he going to want to fight if I say this. I know she going to act like this. Get to knowing somebody is a good thing all around the board.
And if I could,
go ahead, Bruce.
Sir, that was like real heavy what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? With the separation between the black woman and the black man, it all started in like school. They start you off real young in preschool. They separate you. You know what I'm saying? They got the boys sitting on this side of the room. They got the girls sitting on the other side of the room. You know what I'm saying? They start off young. You know what I mean? And it psychologically damages us to the point where we'll be fighting and colliding with each other all day long.
That's right. And like I said, the white man is responsible for it. And his wiping away our memory of what we did in our relationships prior to slavery, he aids in the dysfunction in the household. Like, you know, I think, you know, it's both sides. I'm not saying it's just women and it's just men, but in the truth, it's if you're in the truth and you believe in the Bible. If you believe in the Bible, then you're going to regard what the Bible says as instructions for you, as something that you have to do. You don't have a choice. Like the brother Captain Zariak, I'm gonna mention something he broke down that I didn't realize. That's why that brother is way above me. Is that there's no such thing as free will. Think about that. I ask you a question. Do you have free will? Do you? Answer the way you want to answer. You would say yes. I have free will. Who would disagree with that? Mashal would. Zarak would. Nathazaya would. Who else? Now you disagree? No, I want to refrain. Okay. Do you have free will? Well, see, it ain't no yay. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. We did that today, didn't we? So do you have free will or not? Give that brother a hand to be such a young man to realize that without any of us having to break it down. Say it again. Because the Lord gave us what? Instructions. He might tell me I can't eat another pork chop sandwich, but I was raised on it. And y'all know how many times I mentioned pork chop sandwiches? Y'all notice that? I've always mentioned the pork chop sandwich in my breakdowns. Because my mama made the out coldest pork chop sandwich. Man, that joint had mayo and hot sauce and it was crispy. And she would toast the bread for me. It's a lot. I need to chop my tongue off because my mouth watering for a goddamn disgusting ass pork chop sandwich. You see? So, to my point, I don't have a free will. The Lord told me, no, your will got to be this. His will be done. His will be done. Not my will be done. His will be done on earth or in earth the same way it is in heaven. his will be done in earth the same exact way it is in heaven, which is what? All order, all authority. What I say goes. You have no free will. All right? So as it relates to sisters, right, and brothers, the Lord tell you that you got to listen to your husband. Is it a choice, sister? There's no choice. You don't have a choice. If you think it's a choice, you know what the problem is? It's America. It's how you've been raised. If you think you have a choice, well, sloppy. Let me digress a little bit. If your husband is telling you to jump off the Belle Isle Bridge, do you have to obey him? Why? Because it would be a sin, right? You don't have to follow him in his sin. Let's shoot some dope and make good love, because when we shoot dope and make love, it's the best love making we've ever had. Do you got to follow that? Hell no. No more than you have to follow him telling you to jump off the bridge and kill yourself. But if the husband say, back to the scenario that I pointed out earlier, if he tell you to cover yourself up, do you have to obey that? You do? Or can you say, nigga, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want to do? If you do that, then guess what happens? You create a doom for yourself. And you don't realize when you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe on the corner of the bed and it hurts so bad, I would always attribute some sort of pain to something that I didn't do. I always think about, like, if I'm in a dire straits, or I'm feeling some pain, or the ends ain't meeting. What did I do to displease the Lord? So anytime you debate, argue, fight, fuss, try to control your husband, and then reject his counsel, give me correction is grievous to them that forsake the way. Give me that one real quick. Let me show you something. Then who's the head of the wife, sister? He's the head of the wife? What does that mean? Does that mean that she can just pick and choose what she obey? And this is from the Most High, right here. The head of the wife, does it mean she can pick and choose what parts of the husband's instructions she's going to obey? She got will. She got a free will to say, no, I'm going to eat what I want to eat, but I'm going to obey you in everything that you tell me to wear. Do she have free will to do that, to make those choices? She does not. No more so than I have free will to because of, despite the instructions of Christ, to follow the law, to break them occasionally. I don't have the will to do that. Anytime I do that, man, I bring about a impending doom upon myself. So, as it relates to man and wife, Christ, the Most High clearly said the man is the head of the wife. If I tell you something as it relates to something lawful, you have to obey. You know why? Why, sis? What do you got to obey your husband? Because he's your husband. That's the man that you said that you was going to lay down with. Sex is marriage. Once you do that thing, it's marriage. That's the paperwork right there. That's the signing on the dotted line that God is concerned with. You got to obey him. If you don't think that the Lord approves of you. He don't approve of you. That's for every sister. Any sister out there, man, that's interested in the brother, man, use that 6-month period, man, to gauge whether or not you can obey that man. I'm unyielding. You know what I'm saying? In my perspective, as it relates to the truth, I don't compromise it. You can never get me to say, first and foremost, I ain't giving up nothing the Lord said that I got coming to me if I want it. I don't give a fuck who you is out there. You know what I'm saying? No woman, no matter how beautiful you are or how you look, can stop me from doing what the Lord told me was my right as a man. You can fight till you're blue in the face, till you goddamn drop dead, not Captain LeBron. All right? Period. I ain't yielding any of these members that the Lord gave me. Period. Why ye? What does the scripture say? Why do ye trim thy ways for love? Not me. Not me. Give me that scripture, Zarat.
In the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 10, correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way.
You see that? Break that down for me, young man. Correction is grievous unto them or to him that forsake the way. What that mean? Correction is grievous. Break that first part down. Correction is grievous. I just gave it to you. It starts with correction is grievous.
Correction is grievous, meaning like it's frowned upon.
I accept that word. Correction is a correction is a thing that hurts a man. That this particular type of man, first of all. Correction is grievous. Go ahead.
Unto him that forsaketh the way.
Now, what is the way? Is it right?
The way is the law, statutes, and commandments.
Most High in Christ. Correction is grievous to them that don't like the law, the statutes, or the commandments. Certain aspects of it. Correction would be a thing that is like a punch in the face to them that don't like the law, statutes, and commandments. Like a lot of women, we've been raised in this society that said, I don't need no man. I ain't listening to no man. I ain't letting no man rule over me. Right? We've been raised in that society right there where it says that you ain't got to listen to no man and what his opinion is of nothing that you do. And you know what that is? That's the blessing that Eve got from Satan in the garden, believe it or not. That's being played out here in America. So correction is grievous to him that forsake the way. Keep reading.
And he.
And what?
And he.
Go ahead.
That hated reproof.
That hated what?
Reproof.
That hate correction. And he that hate to be corrected. He or she that hate to be corrected. Shall what?
Shall die.
Let that sink in right there. So find out whether actually I would this is what I would say as it relates to courting, right? If you're so pleased with everything about that man, I would say question that as well. Because you want to have a man that no matter what gives you what you need in order to be accepted in that day. You know, like think about a man that would say for his love that he would compromise the truth. That man ain't worthy of the kingdom, is he? And if he ain't worthy of the kingdom, how does that sister expect to obtain? If you got a man that will compromise his principal sisters, will compromise any aspect of the law, statutes, and commandments to please you, you shouldn't want him. Why would you want a man that's going to, like what the scripture that comes to mind is, what profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? Or a woman. You got a man that's going to agree with every goddamn thing that you want to do and what you say and what you look like, what you wear. He approve of it knowing that you're going outside looking like a hoe. When Christ see you looking like that, you know what he going to do? Who knows? Which one of you know? Anybody want to answer over there? Christ see you dressed like a hoe. Go ahead, sister. He going to put your ass to death. And you want a man that allows you to go outside dressed like a goddamn hoe? A $2 slut? That's what you want? Christ come back the next goddamn hour, he approved of you looking like a slut, and you get killed? That's what you want? That's the scripture where it talks about yielding your members. Why, what does it say? Why, trimmeth thy ways for love? Because she wants you to do something that's against the law. And you trim that off to please her. That's why Christ said, if you love your wife more than you love me, you ain't worthy of the kingdom. Or your son or your daughter or whoever the hell else. You love them more than you love Christ and the Lord, pushing the law. You should honor a man that does not compromise in this truth. But because you're so, and I ain't talking about you, Sister Salakia, but because certain women are so in the world, they can't see that man correcting her, like, listen, before the truth, I didn't give a crap what you wore. I knew that was mine. And shit, I didn't care if other man looked at you. As long as they ain't say nothing to you or touch you. They can look at that ass and the breasts or whatever. They didn't care. But in the truth, the Lord said a woman got to present herself in a certain way. So I'm going to tell you, cover your ass up. What the hell wrong with you? You know the Lord don't approve of that. You get a rise out of me and every other man that see you like that. And other women admire how beautiful you are. But is that consistent with what the Lord's instructions is? Hell no. Take your ass and cover up. That's the man that you wanna gravitate towards him and love him. Because what's out there is men that don't. They want to show you, man, look at this piece I got rolling with me. Look at this, honey, right here. You want man, that's what sisters want, really? You don't realize how goddamn disgusting you are. To the Lord, I'm saying. All right, but like I just said, for a man like myself, if I'm just thinking on my own accord, oh my God, baby, show them what I'm working with every night. Make them drool at what I'm dealing with, what I have at my disposal every night. That's how black men are. As long as you don't touch her, say nothing to her while she with me. Look at that ass, man. Oh my goodness, man. What we talk about all the goddamn time in the world? The sisters know it. So if you love the Lord, what should you want to do? You should want to honor him by covering yourself up, making those things that you have that's so goddamn beautiful and attractive only for the eyesight of your husband. If you're doing it the opposite way, sister, you in the world and you're not considering the Lord first. All right. So in courting, you want to gauge what that man approves of and what he doesn't. And I would challenge sisters on this. Just because he disapprove of a thing don't mean that you shouldn't marry that man. You should look for what he is not going to compromise. Man that let you go out looking like a $2 hoe, you might want to say, I don't want to marry him because he gonna die and I'm gonna die too when Christ come back. I need a man that's gonna put me in my goddamn place and help me shut my goddamn mouth because the Bible tell me so. Tell him to instruct me in that manner. So in courting, you want to look for what he will compromise and what he won't compromise. You want to look for some men not, as romantic as I am. You might not get a lot of, boat rides to a private island, man, where we cabin in some seclusive cabin and cook steaks and, and lay in each other's arms in the jacuzzi. You might not get that from the average man like you might get from me. You see what I'm saying? So you want to consider all aspects of longevity with that man. Can you stand his ass long enough to endure till Christ come back? Those are quintessential elements to marriage, man. Can I be with this man and he's gruff and he's rough and he's this and that and he's gonna be like this forever? He's not romantic. He's a little standoffish. He's not so approachable. He's not so social. Consider all of those things, man, before you give him yourself. Whether or not it's somebody that you, and like I just said, because he's not does not mean that is not the man for you. So weigh it. You know what I'm saying? Weigh it with knowledge. All right? Slocky question about what we 40 minutes over. I'm asking any other questions right there, then I'm going to end the class. Any more questions? That's it? Any questions in the audience? Y'all sure now? Now, the sister did ask me if I could, to like kind of bring out some of these topics weekly. You know what I mean? But I'd like more participation from sisters that want these questions answered. You know what I mean? Have them sisters call in, and then I could definitely, make a case to add that as a topic weekly. Right? So to the sisters out there that's listening, you know what I mean? How those sisters that wanted those questions answered, call in and ask about courtship, marriage, etc. All right, with that, I turn the class over to Priest and Officer Rock for the reading of the security evidence. ISUPK security announcements. We're on the ISUPK, start out of 1 West, 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the word. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother and sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, if the brother and sister, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocation. Memorial or the blowing of the trumpets. Give me the dates.
Saturday, September 28, 2019.
September 28, 2019. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. With that being said, gonna give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barak. We also want to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Al-Athah Hashem Yahweh Barak. Yashamatah, dismissed.
Nobody tell you crap. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how did you excel? With them the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with a